My name's Chris Pongrass. I am the GM of the Sydney Kings.
I'm Chase Buford. I'm the head coach of the Sydney Kings.
I'm Luc Longley. I'm the ball handling and three-point shooting specialist coach for the Sydney Kings.
All right, Chase, you're on screen share duty.
Okay, cool. MK, first off, congrats on a hell of a year. I know it was a lot of ups and downs. I think, started off by coming down on my foot and costing you a month in vitamins, and then working your way back from that, trying to feel your way into the team, then going down again and having another injury that you had to be resilient and fight through. And I think probably that injury time was for the coaching staff, and I think for Luke especially, and people that were involved watching and hoping and helping you grow. You really use that time well to adjust your mindset and shift your focus on how you're going to get on the court. I think that the mindset shifted from how can I get drafted to how do I play? Because you were playing behind Jarrell Martin, who's played 100 NBA games and started a ton of NBA games, and Xavier Cooks, who was one of the best 2 or 3 players in the league this year. So it was hard, and you had your work cut out for you, and you attacked it the right way, and you attacked it with a great mindset and mentality. And I think the way you attacked it helped you grow and helped you get better in ways you maybe not even had imagined. And the way you played coming back from injury, just everything we all thought and hoped you would be the whole time. And you showed it in spades, and you just showed what a capable player you are, what all the potential you have, but also what a good player you are right now and helping us win a championship. And down the stretch, you started, I think 4 or 5 games for us. You played huge minutes in some pivotal games. I want to take you through some clips from the Perth game, which I think was maybe the best game, not only for you, but also for us. And you were a huge part of it, starting over X as he came back from injury, playing big minutes, playing a huge role. You were terrific that night. And just seeing your maturation from early in the season to late in the year, accepting the way things were and just trying to do your best. And you did it so well and helped us. And as I watched the video that your guys sent to us to go through here, the defensive clips at the end, I mean, they're all from the Tasmania series at the end, and you were just amazing. And when it mattered most and down the stretch. So great stuff. Before we get into film, a couple statistical things I think are pretty cool and speak to your elite skills. So the first one is, in the entire NBL, you were second in the league in defensive rebounds per minute. So of all the rebounds that came off every minute you played, you got the second most defensive rebounds per minute, just slightly behind X. I think X was 9.3 per 36, and you were 9.2 per 36. But tops in the league, it shows what an elite skill you have in terms of on the defensive rebounds. And the most common outcome on any offensive possession is a missed shot. Being able to have somebody who can defensive rebound is going to be a skill that translates no matter what level you're going to. And your size, your athleticism, your feel, all that stuff really is shown in that stat, I think. And it's something you did to help us win big games. And it was great. So that's one thing. And also, you were second in the league in free throws attempted per 36 minutes or per minute, but just behind Nate Jawai, who draws a lot of fouls at his size. So another thing, showing an elite skill, you have to draw fouls, and you're a good free throw shooter, so you convert points. At the end of the day, a trip to the foul line is still the most efficient shot you can get. You're getting 1.5 points return on that on average, and that's better than even a contested layup or 3 or anything like that. So you have an elite skill in that regard too, of getting to the foul line. So you combine those two skills that are going to translate well to any level of play. It sets you up well going down your next path of your journey. I also want to talk through your post-injury stats, just kind of your numbers coming back after the injury from March on the rest of the season. In 16 and a half minutes, you averaged 8.5 points and nearly 6 rebounds. It's really, really good. Shooting 59% from 2, 42.5% from 3, and 52% overall from the field. Again, great numbers. We talked about this next number in coming back early in the season. Your effective field goal percentage wasn't quite where we wanted it. Not getting the most efficient shots. In the second half of the season, when you came back, you shot 61% effective field goal percentage, 66% true shooting percentage, and 1.7 points per shot, which are all really, really elite numbers. Things that people look at when they're evaluating draft prospects. Effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage are great indicators of the efficiency of the score and the efficiency of the player. And you showed you could do that really, really well, especially down the back half of the season. So that's kind of some numbers I think that just show what a clear impact you made on our team and the game and what you can do. I'm going to screen share right now, and let's watch some clips from the Perth game, which I said it earlier. I think it was probably your best game of the year, and also our best game of the year as a team. So everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Possession here. Let me turn the sound off. First possession here, just, Perth's offense, they're running a little back cut. You see Bryce Cotton go back door. Your positioning the whole time is perfect. You're seeing the ball. You're staying open to the top of the floor so you can challenge anything from any angle. As that pass comes in, you come put your chest between him and the ball. You get a great block shot out of bounds. Terrific weak side help. And an area we talked about for you being a huge part of your growth was rim protection and continue to grow. I think you showed that many times throughout the second half of the season. Another defensive clip here. Again, good protection there, ready to help on Law, taking up space in the paint, doing what you do best. Again, closing out with a pretty good contest there on a good shooter. Going from one place to the next, it's tough. Maybe would have done a better job on the.
We're behind you. My screen doesn't show any of that. What are you seeing, MK?
I'm seeing everything clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm miles behind whatever you're talking about, Chase. Anyway, don't worry about me then. I'll just wait till it picks up.
Sorry, Luke. We'll keep going. So, MK, you're seeing this good?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yep.
Again, great help there, clogging up the paint, closing out, getting a hand up. Maybe done a better job on the rebounds here, but I love it. You get back in the play and immediately sitting down in a defensive stance on the best offensive player maybe in the league. Love this. Getting your stick hand active, up, ready to go, ready to challenge, ready to contest anything. And again, toes right up on the three-point line puts you in a good position to contest. You're a big body. That's a good position for you. And also you don't want to get driven and force help. And again, you force them into that tough, kind of leaning away, contested shot, forcing a miss against a really good player. And that's an example of how you can sit down and guard one-on-one in a variety of ways. Oops, sorry. Another action here in center field. That was a big point early on, learning how to guard in a 2-on-2 environment where you're keeping both the ball and the roller in front of you. It's a coverage. It's a very NBA style for a lot of teams, especially at the bigs, and something you grew into really, really well. Again, you got a wide base here. Hands are out, taking up space, closing the ball handler. We talked about squaring the ball being a huge part of our center field defense, cutting off that ball handler, giving Wani, who's way behind the play, a chance to get back in front. And he does just that. And then you're in a great position now on the offensive rebounds to go take that ball and go play. So really, really good. And last one, this wasn't from the Perth game, but I thought this was just a great example of your physicality on the block, defending big players. Nate Jawai, guys, played in the NBA, played around the world. He's a load at any level. Again, we were going to be in a white coverage or a front defense in this game. So you knew you had to do your work early. You had to meet him. And as soon as his ball goes to the wing, you do a great job of swimming him off, throwing a big, strong, physical guy out of the way, and getting into a perfect white position. Getting your hands up, active, making him catch it not where he wants to catch. He ends up getting a touch here. You get to do a great job, active hands, again, deflecting the pass, and now he's caught it at 18 feet. He's caught it further away from the basket than he wants. But here, now your work really starts. He's got a big physical load trying to back you down. Again, you get a great arm bar, taking it with your chest, force him into a 10-foot fadeaway hook shot here that you throw away. Really, really good defense against a big, big physical post defender. And again, play's not over with. Comes back to him, stay between him and the basket. You chest him well. You get a great contest, and we get the rebound at the end of the clock. MK, you see that well?
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Any feedback on a couple of defensive clips?
I think the biggest thing was you said at the start of the year, I did make a big jump on, the way I was guarding, the way I was defending, which I had to. I had to make that adjustment to get on the floor. But the biggest thing I think I felt like I improved was the drop coverage. Because before that, prior to that, I was so used to hard hedging and hard showing. But drop is actually like what most NBA teams do. Just in my recent workout, that's what we're working on. So, I do thank you guys a lot for definitely helping me cover that. And, with these type of players like Nate Jarwell, I think, the biggest thing is just meet him early at the free throw line. So if you meet him on the block, he's already got a deep ceiling, and that's a layup. Guys like Bryce Thompson coming up for three, you got to be ready and know your scouting report. And I think that's the biggest thing, just to get a stick hand like you always talk about during film, and hope he takes a bad shot. But prior to that, I definitely do feel like I made a good in playing defense.
And Luke can probably tell you more than I am, but center field is obviously a lot of nuance to it as the big defender. You've often got two guys coming at you, and how you bait and play that is really important. Luke, you want to jump in on anything? Were you able to see any of those clips at the end?
Yeah, they played through. I suppose just commenting on MK's defensive growth, which I think is where he grew the most this year. The two things for me really were his preparedness to use his chest early in the season. He wanted to protect himself. MK, you wanted to protect yourself more, and you're more reluctant. And I think as the season grew on, you got more confident in using your chest and using that as a defensive weapon. The other thing that I think really grew, and you seem to understand this year, was staying down. Early in the year, you got lifted a lot, not just on the perimeter, but in the paint, and got yourself in trouble, which led to fouls, and you grew and matured that way. So once a player starts not getting lifted and using his chest, he becomes a solid defender, and then obviously your length and speed can take you to being a really good defender. Now, the third thing, I suppose, there, which was demonstrated on that possession, was that your excitability on defense backed away. And I think that made you vulnerable early in the season. I think you and I talked about just playing slower, actually, defensively, and not being so excitable, which got you in foul trouble and got you lifted. So that was a great clip just to show all three of those things, I suppose. And two of those things at least come with just time on the floor and getting comfortable with playing against grown men. And the speed that you adjusted to that in the second half of the season was impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. Let's check a few offensive clips going back to the Perth game here. MK, if there was one area that I was probably on you all season on offensively, there was a few, but what was the thing I think we tried to bring out of you most as an offensive player?
The one thing you on me most was just being more decisive. That's the biggest thing. You got size, you got length, you got strength. Use it. And I think early during the season, I definitely let guys off with taking a midi pull up, or just taking a shot that I felt like that wasn't forced upon me. And then towards the end of the season, I started being decisive with my dribbles, kind of make quick moves to the rim, and kind of hard to guard. And then from that on, the game just develops over time.
Yeah, towards the back half of that answer, you nailed it on the head. Using your size, your strength, your ability, your touch, your moves to go be a force at the rim. And whether that's as a cutter, or as a driver, as a roller, you really improved and got better in all those ways, and just used it more. This first clip here was a great example. Early in the season, we play a little bit different. We ask our bigs to not always rim run to the rim, but also oftentimes create space. And it was something that you had to probably break some habits, some good habits that a lot of teams would utilize, because you're a great runner of the floor. You like to get out and run great, just like you do on this possession. You sprint, flatten out the defense. And I love this clip, just one here, where you just back out of it. And all that does is it pulls Vic Law out of the play and creates a great driving lane for Jalen to go right to the rim and get a layup. And I think that was an area where you matured too, in sacrificing yourself and sacrificing your own scoring opportunities to create plays, to create space for others to play in. And it was something that you found a great balance of as the year went on, when to be aggressive, when to use those moments to seal and get layups, but also when to not clog it up, and when to find space for others to play. When you play with a lot of talented players, that's often what you're going to have to do. And you learned and grew into that really, really well. Next clip here is just the first possession of the game. Kind of some little fluff actions to get us through. come over to a Jalen pick and roll, and he decides to refuse it. Great heads up play by you on the weak side, trying to create a mismatch or an advantage by setting a quick flare and then rolling, quick rolls, putting pressure on the basket was something we emphasized a lot. And you did a great job here. Just first play, making a quick slip off your flare, catching it, keeping it high, and finishing 2 points, getting us off on the right foot in a game where we really never looked back. Another play here, you take it off the glass. You look to get us playing quick. It's not there. You reversed it. And here, I think Jalen sees that you got Bryce Cotton on you. So he's like, we'll see if we can run MK into the post and get a mismatch. Pert does a good job. They recognize it and they switch. We still throw the ball in here. And I love this patience from you. I think you alluded to it. Maybe early in the year, you'd have taken a shot you weren't forced into that maybe wouldn't have been as efficient shot. But here you're patient, maybe decide not to attack the bigger guy. Instead, get my teammates involved. Great quick handoff and roll. Again, catch a pretty bad pass out of the way, finish in traffic. Great maturity play, great just poise and control on that play. And again, putting pressure on the rim, doing something you do very well. Kind of a broken play here off a missed three. Ian grabs a rebound. We swing it around to a screen. Again, another example of you just creating space to play, finding the dunker, finding a place low and opposite where Luke Travers doesn't see you. Now as DJ drives and the help goes, you do a great job of just reading this. As he goes baseline, you circle to the dots. Probably get fouled on this first one in traffic, but again, great determination, stay with it, and pick up an unsportsmanlike. In the NBA, you only get 2 free throws for that, but here we got 2 free throws in the ball. So great determination for you. Again, great reading and spacing and cutting and putting pressure on the rim, getting efficient shots, doing what you do best. Couple plays here out of our angle action where we like to pop you because you were a really effective playmaker and shooter in this position. Again, off a simple pop, capable to step up and knock it down. And again, towards the end of the year, that was a great action for us because you shot that shot so well. And same action here. Now they all overreact. All eyes are on you. You see Glove with a great little pass. They goaltend to 2 points. Again, your passing ability, your ability to see the floor as a big guy and make reads off of it was something we used really well. Something you used very well. Again, come in here, a little double drag. They try to double team the ball. Again, finding the right level for this. If you roll this too hard, you roll into 3 guys. If you roll it too short, maybe you give Travers or who else a chance to get in the play, but you kind of find that perfect in-between area. Now a player has to step up. You can see right here, it's grainy, but your head's already up. You're already seeing over your shoulder, seeing what's coming. And again, enables you to make a quick pass for an easy 2 points right there. And then this one, we run angle, they switch it this time. Now you've got a smaller defender on you. I thought this was just a really intelligent basketball play. Kind of size him up for a second. Give yourself a 1 back dribble just to see what the floor presents, and then pick your move. A smaller guy, a spin move is a great opportunity to go get to your spot, drive and make him cut you off. Again, get right to your spot for an easy 2 points. So that's the clips from the Perth game I got. All pretty good examples, I think, of different ways you impact the game, both offensively and defensively, and how some of those areas where you really, really matured. And obviously your package is bigger than those just few clips, but great examples of the ways you embrace playing, our style in a way you can be really effective towards the latter half of the season to great success. So Luke, MK, you guys got any feedback on any of those offense stuff?
Yeah, I think I learned to be patient. I think as time went on and during the season, I definitely learned how to be patient. And I think the first time, if I would have caught that ball on the block, when Majork who switched on me, I would have tried something. But I think anytime you get any of our great guards that we had this year coming off a downhill with a step up, around the wing areas, it's tough to guard. And JA and DJ and all those guys are able to find me really well. I often try to use plays like that to try to get everybody going, not just myself, but for the team also. And I think that definitely benefited. And then during the stretch, as you see, I'm big on a little switch on top of the key. And, number one thing to do is just go down here and go attack him. And if he cuts you off, I got to spin back. But besides that, I think I've just learned a lot.
It's great.
Yeah, I wasn't following those clips in real time because I think my bandwidth here is too slow. The internet won't keep up with all that. For me, I agree with what you just said, MK. I suppose a couple of things that I learned this year about you. First one was how hard and how fast you can run foul line to foul line. Like when you get going foul line to foul line, I feel like that did an amazing job of just stretching the floor for us and creating problems. And especially on the clips that we're about to watch from your crew, that foul line to foul line speed, something you got to keep in your kit as something that you do really well. That's elite. Even I think at NBA level that'll be elite. To be able to do that for 7 minutes in a stretch, I think is going to come down to conditioning. And obviously you came off a difficult base with an injury this year, but get yourself even fitter going into the NBA, and you can create problems with that. The other thing you mentioned then that I do want to comment on is your patience. When you came in, and we talked about it defensively, but offensively, I thought this year, at the end of the year, you did become a lot more, well, it goes without saying you became more patient, but a lot more patient, even to the point where I thought that you were playing for the team entirely. And DJ has a hard time with his short neck and everything. He has a hard time seeing over defenders. And you were really patient with him. Like should have dropped. You should have got a lot more lobs and a lot more drops out of your screen situations, in my opinion. And I didn't see you drop your head once in those situations. I saw you just go to the boards and run back and run the floor the next time and set the next screen. And to me, that's a pro skill that you developed this year. You were patient with your teammates. You weren't all about you weren't all about all that. You're about the team. And that was really evident in, I believe, most evident in your patience with your teammates who didn't always do what I think they could have done to help you out, and you still played your ass off. So I commend you for that. That's a pro skill. And obviously at some point you got to talk to them, but you didn't let that stop you from being involved. You didn't let that distract you from the job at hand. You didn't let that uncontrollable control you. And we talked about that, and felt like as the season wore on, you took control of as many controllables as you could, and did a really good job with those. And so I guess I know, this is not all about just patting you on the back, but I'd like to take this opportunity to pat you on the back for the growth you had in that area. That was outstanding. More than any other skill, I thought your patience and professionalism around your team was a standout for me.
Can I jump in, Luke, as well? I know that your need and desire to be around the team is obviously challenged with your ability to get to Sydney, but I feel like MK, you also had a clear change when you got to work hand in hand with Luke. And I thought you were really receptive to constructive criticism, both from Chase and the coaches, but particularly from Luke around how to conduct yourself in the role that you're given, and all the things that Luke wanted to hit you on in running the floor and being physical and being patient. Again, all of those things I think are really important. And I feel like, Luke, you got to be commended as well, because I think you and the coaches did a great job in, shifting MK's focus to where he's going to be the most efficient, the most effective. And MK, we're all really intent on seeing you play in the NBA. And I think if and when you play in the NBA, it's going to be in a role that at least starting out is what you saw here, right? It's going to be a role player and doing those things right, like running the floor and being physical and catching lobs and going after the defensive and offensive boards. They're all the things that they're going to bank on. So for the fact that you'll be able to showcase that, I think is really important.
Thank you.
All right, let's throw on the video that your people put together, and I'll screen share it. But if you and Luke could maybe start it at the same time I do, so we're all just kind of watching it go together, and we can all talk through it, just so there's nobody that's lagging behind on the screen share. So I'm gonna start the screen share here, but if you guys want to throw that up on your own.
I'm going to put it on my phone. Hold on.
Okay. Everybody see that?
Hang on, wait for me. My slow internet's just loading up a bit.
MK, you're ready though?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Luke, you tell me when to go, and I'll say give us a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Yeah, no worries. I've got the spinning circle of death right now, but it'll come. Hopefully. I'm on a set. Oh, here we go. Yep, I'm live.
All right. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll start it. So 3, 2, 1. We're off. MK highlights. Starting in 30.
So our games were broadcast in Lithuania.
They must have.
Fuck. So MK, let's just make sure you and I are synced up. Can you pause yours? And so I'm at the 30-second mark on the blue bar down the bottom. Where are you? Forget Chase's screen because MK, Chase's screen for me is just a distraction. I'm on my phone. Can you just make sure you and I are synced up? I'm at 30 seconds. Can we go back to 30? Well,
30 seconds.
Where are you at?
1 second.
30 seconds.
I gotta restart it again.
Yeah, sorry, fellas. This is technical issues.
So you got 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Luke, you tell us when to start it. I'm at 30 seconds as well.
I'm at 30 right now.
Okay, ready? On 3, 1, 2, 3. So watch here the run from foul line to foul line. You go past 3, 4 guys, gives you good offensive position. Same thing here. Like the acceleration you have, well, this isn't the greatest example. And again, if DJ could just drop you the ball earlier, you'd be in all kinds of good shape. And there's so many examples of that here. So in this one, you're running with the ball and that works for you. But a lot of these you're getting out. Well, here you go. Accelerate past 3 white jerseys, get to the rim.
Can you get railed that layup from running so hard?
Yeah, the gravity you create or the pull you create with that run is floor changing for us, and was whenever you're on the floor or whenever you had the gas to run that way on the floor.
I love this clip. You know, it's just everything we ask out of you. Get it off the glass, outlet it quick, go get into an action. Get Jalen a layup. Great roll. Foul.
I thought your catching in traffic got better throughout the year as you became more familiar with the level of physicality in the league. I thought you were good to start with. I thought you started to snare the ball really well at the end of the year. Right there. That's a lot of young guys won't make that catch.
That one right there.
And that one, yep. Chase, do you got any stats on our most effective screening options? Because I felt like MK also set, if not the best one, certainly for the bigs, I thought he set the best screens on the team, him and Rel.
Yeah, him and Rel would be the top 2 for sure.
Mm. And through the course of the season, you started to get your feet down earlier on the screens and started to give them a mixed bag in terms of what you did out of the screen, whether you slipped it or stayed in the screen. That mixed bag became potent for you.
This is an area, MK, where you were elite, you know, cutting, moving off the ball for easy baskets. One of the most effective cutters in the league.
quite an effective dunker too.
We finally got him dunking.
Right.
I'm going to take credit for at least one of those points there.
I think it was after that Melbourne game that there were a couple of times you went to throw it down and you adjusted your shot and laid it up, and Chase, you got stuck in the end, said just throw that down.
Well, that's a great example of just going straight up right there, going right through somebody again, not clutching it, not hesitating.
You guys that spot up?
Yep.
Yeah. Hold up, yeah.
I mean, elite towards the end of the year with confidence, knocking down shots. I mean, shot over 42% down the end of the stretch. Shots very good.
And that definitely all
One of them,
patience for sure. Just being patient when I got the ball.
Yeah, I mean, how many of these are just in rhythm, good shots, open, catch and shoot?
what's notable is that none of them were off between the leg step back. It's all nice rhythm shots and your money, your cash in that situation.
I know we never threw the ball into the post, but when you actually attack the rim, you're a pretty effective post player as well in the limited opportunities. This section shows all of your offensive rebounds, but like we talked about earlier, you were the most elite, along with X, defensive rebounder in the league. I think this area right here is still an area where you're going to get much better as you continue to play, turning these board and breaks into more attacking opportunities for yourself and for teammates. You did a great job getting it up the floor. And now you got Tim Conrad on you. I'd love to see you go attack him some more too, because I know you can beat those guys and putting pressure when you do push it up the floor.
It's such a balancing act, isn't it? Because you also wanted to be patient and not force the issue, which I was going to say is well, here we go. Foul line to foul line speed.
Like that one right there. Love it. Go draw a foul when you got a mismatch. You know, we got an advantage. Go take advantage of this. I think this is one of your best offensive skills is your passing ability as a big man, off the bounce or off the catch. A really elite passer can put the ball wherever you want it out on the floor. Yeah, great rim protection and contesting all down the end of the season when it mattered most. Terrific center field contest. Blitzed one, you can get out there and do that. Another great center field contest.
Your verticality improved through the course of the season. You learned how our officials interpret it and adjusted to that. And there's good examples here of you just being vertical, using your chest.
That clip on McIntosh a second ago was a great job of staying down early in the season. You'd have jumped through the rip on that one.
Yeah, I would have definitely slapped back down.
So I think that's the end of the video. MK, why don't you talk us through some of your thoughts on your game and things like that?
I think the biggest thing was, just getting out and running. Like if I'm foul line to foul line, if I could do that through the course of a whole game and get in that type of shape, that's probably, it's gonna hurt a lot of teams. And defending, my defense got a lot better. I would say that for sure. During the course of the season, my defense, knowing how the officials will ref the game. And as you've seen, when I first used to get in the game, I used to get like 3 fouls, quick ones, or, silly tic-tac fouls. As time went on, I definitely did improve. I just started, and that just comes with time. And I would say my defense did get a lot better. Knowing the scout, I think that was a big thing. The first thing was almost like, I used to read the scout, but not too well, during the playoffs and stuff like that. And during mid-season, I definitely had to lock in. And that was when I had injury, I had to find things to do. And that was watching from the bench and just kind of knowing the league and knowing the plays around the league. And because, at one point I want to get on the floor and I want to have to guard these guys and to earn you guys' trust. That was a big thing. And besides, it started with defense, and then everything else just got a lot better. My spot-up shots started falling. My patience with and without the ball, my cutting, I just started seeing the game a lot more.
MK, how do you feel about the choice to play in the NBL as a preparation for getting drafted? Are you satisfied? And just be candid. You don't have to fluff us on this one. It's really important feedback for us and for the league potentially. How do you feel about the way the ramp at the NBL? How do you feel about the way the NBL ramped you for what you're into now?
It's a great stepping stone if you're trying to get to the NBA, especially somebody in my situation where you could have went to college or you could have went to the NBL. I think NBL is the best path for it because it's a physical league. And it's a very respected league also from the NBA. As you see now, every workout I go to, everybody I speak to, I always speak about the level of physicality in there. So if you could hold your own in the NBL, you should be fine in the NBA. That's what
and that's good information. The obviously the tricky bit is when you come to the NBL as a next star, and this, I guess I'm talking specifically about you. There's a with every young man, there's an expectation of playing huge minutes and huge roles, and then the NBL is good enough to where that's not necessarily always going to be the case. And I feel like obviously your injury stifled that, but learning to play a role and learning to play within the situation you're in is a pro skill in itself that we talked about. So I just wanted to double back on your pro skills this year that you developed, and probably the one other than the on-court stuff, the primary stuff we spoke about with patience. The second one was just your pro skills. I think understanding where you're at with the group, with the coaches in your career, the whole thing that enabled your patience. I think I'm rambling now actually, but I do think that you adjusted really well to the NBL and to your role and found a maturity in it that I'd like to think you might not have found if you're in college and dominating the college basketball landscape. As a pro skill, I think the NBL did you a service, and I'd like to think the Kings did too.
Yeah, definitely did. I think at some point in your career, a player's going to have to face something like that. It's not, you got to find a way where you can help the team win. And I think that was the biggest thing. I had to find a way where I could add value and try to win games. And that was, like I said, a lot rebounding, just running hard, just doing something to get a win. And that's what I figured out. Is if you're ever out there just on the court or anything, just try to impact the game.
And I think you took us from being a a maybe to probable to being a favorite for the championship once you started playing like you did within our system and with the maturity you did. So anyway, congratulations on that, mate.
Yeah, I mean, to both of those points, MK, you're the first next star to win a championship. And not only you did that, but you did that the last 16 games of the season, playing almost half the minutes, 17 minutes a game, on a team that won 14 out of 16 games when you played, coming back from injury. So all things you should be really proud of because you had a huge part, and probably the first next star to really impact winning in the way you did. A lot of other next stars maybe have had more minutes or more other opportunities other ways on really bad teams, and they've been thrust into that so that they can get the limelight at the expense of winning. And you bought into a situation where you put winning above your own priorities, and it paid you back too in some ways because you grew and you got better as a player in ways maybe you wouldn't have if you were just able to go out and do whatever you wanted to do. But the way, and then like Luke said, the maturity of which you bought in, you are the most deserving person to be the first next star to win a championship because you earned it with the way, the humility in which you entered the group, especially coming back from injury.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Luke, you got anything else, or MK, you got anything else you want to leave us with before we sign off?
Go ahead, Luke.
No, I was just gonna. No, I don't really have anything. I've said everything I wanted to say. I didn't get to say. The only point I haven't made, which I had wanted to make, was your deceptive strength, and to make sure that you highlight that whenever you can by swimming through guys, using your chest, wrestling guys. Like back to that first workout, I don't even think you know how strong you are. And I don't think it's your weight. I think you could lose a little bit of weight and it wouldn't affect your strength. I think your strength didn't feel like momentum strength to me. Like, big guys who just want to barrel through you with 140 kilos like me. It felt like real old man strength. Like, I think you can use that even more. I think you will surprise a lot of dudes in the NBA with just how strong you are, and certainly surprised me. So that was the only thing I had left to encourage you about, I suppose. Keep that up.
Appreciate it. I just
After
want to say
I'm done.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for hopping on and doing this Zoom call, taking the time and doing it.
Of course, man.
Brother, thank you for everything. It was an honor to have you as a part of our team, and I'm so happy that we ended it the way we did because to see you want to stick around with those guys and share in the moments and go to the Swans game, and that was special to me. And I think none of us maybe would have expected that 4 or 5 months before. To see the way you bought in and enjoyed it, that was special. So NBL champion, can nobody ever take it away from you.
Champ, you gotta stop calling the MK stuff. Champ.
Yeah, I'm tearing up over here. Okay, shit.
Hey, good luck.